When did you have to make a serious decision about something completely stupid? I was buying crystals when both my best friends texted me the same message at the exact same time saying I had to check my birth chart and divine which one of them the universe wanted me to support in their friendship breakup. Astrid and Stella had been inseparable for 5 years until Mercury went into retrograde, and both their co-star apps sent notifications saying, "Avoid toxic water signs today," which was apparently about each other since they're both Pisces. Astrid got a notification that morning saying, "Your friend isn't who they seem," and immediately knew it meant Stella because Stella had just bought new crystals without consulting the moon calendar. Stella's app said, "Chaos is coming from someone close," and she sent me 17 screenshots with red arrows pointing at Astrid's contact photo like she was presenting evidence in a murder trial. Within 72 hours, they'd created competing spreadsheets tracking every bad thing that happened to them cross-referenced with each other's planetary movements. Astrid showed me 43 screenshots proving Stella viewed her Instagram stories during void of course moons, which was apparently sending cursed energy through the internet. She'd calculated that her last 3 failed manifestations aligned perfectly with Stella's Saturn entering her 5th house. Stella went further and paid a professional astrologer $75 to analyze their birth charts, and when the astrologer said they had karmic lessons to learn separately, she interpreted this as cosmic confirmation they should never speak again. She created a PowerPoint called "Why Astrid's Rising Sign is Attacking My Chakras" with 37 slides including pie charts about toxic energy patterns. Then Stella started claiming Astrid's bad vibes were making her houseplants die faster, and she had a whole graph tracking plant death rates compared to their text message frequency. Astrid discovered they'd both been carrying the same rose quartz in their bags and accused Stella of crystal theft energy, even though they literally bought them together. They demanded everyone in our friend group provide their exact birth time down to the minute and the GPS coordinates of the hospital where they were born, or they'd cut us off too. Stella made everyone take a quiz about what phase the moon was in during significant life events to prove our spiritual loyalty. Everything exploded when Astrid found out Stella had been dating a Scorpio for 2 weeks without telling her, which violated their sacred pact to never date water signs. I ended up picking Astrid because when Stella demanded to know the exact planetary alignment during my first kiss, and when I lost my V card to determine my relationship with feminine energy, I realized one of them had to be stopped, and at least Astrid only wanted my rising sign, not my entire intimate history mapped against lunar cycles. When I told Stella my decision, she screamed, "I should have known because Mercury was in microshade when we met and your chart screams betrayal." Then she stood outside my apartment building at 3 in the morning burning sage while live streaming it to her little astrology Facebook group, claiming she was cleansing the bad energy of fake friends. The aftermath was like living in an alternate dimension where Astrid consulted 3 different astrology apps before we could get coffee and made me sign an actual contract on paper she'd soaked in moon water stating I wouldn't use any crystals she'd previously touched with Stella or enter any metaphysical shops they'd been to together. She claimed entire neighborhoods based on energy alignment with her chart and banned me from meeting her in specific areas because Stella had claimed them energetically. Our friend group split into camps based on their elements, with earth signs going to Astrid and water signs going to Stella, while the air signs formed a rogue faction that met secretly at a Denny's because they refused to participate in element-based discrimination. 3 months in, Astrid discovered Stella's Scorpio boyfriend was actually a Scorpio Sagittarius cusp and sent our group chat a 47-minute voice note explaining how this proved Stella had been spiritually contaminated the entire time they were friends. Stella retaliated by claiming Astrid's new therapist was actually her spirit guide in human form, testing her boundaries, and that going to therapy instead of trusting the universe was cosmic weakness. They started booking sound baths at the exact same time at competing wellness centers and keeping attendance spreadsheets to prove who had more universal support. Astrid threw away $60 of groceries because she accidentally bought them during Stella's Venus return, and eating them would poison her aura from the inside. Her new catchphrase became, "She's manifesting against me, and I have the retrograde charts to prove it," while she refused to leave her apartment for 3 days straight because Stella's moon was in her friendship house. Now they still won't speak, and both swear the universe sends them confirmation through repeated numbers and license plates that they made the right choice, while I'm trapped checking whether Saturn's position allows us to go to Target and secretly wondering if the real toxic energy was downloading those astrology apps in the first place.